to fall off. That's what we teach. Plain and simple. That's all I'm saying. It ain't no woman bashing. That's all I'm saying right there. That should be very simple. On to another point. Unification. That's why we say you got a lot of this rhetoric going around. When we gonna stop all this infighting between different groups? Look, can't be no unification. Just be plain and simple like that. Can't be no unification. Why can there not be any unification? Very simple. You have to. I remember I was watching Know the Ledge TV. They talking to Brother Dawood, and Brother Dawood said he was talking about him and Brother Aziel getting together, and he was like, it don't mean that I agree with a lot of his philosophies and things, but we don't have to agree with each other to support each other, but there still has to be some common foundation now for you coming together. Now, Grady Green, the sister, I think she down with Black Sun, one of his generals, she was like, she quoted that and she said, that's words of wisdom. She quoted the part where he said, we don't have to agree with each other to support each other. She quoted that part. Motherfuckers always say that. But did you hear what he said right after that? There has to be a common foundation for you coming together. This is what I'm saying. And I told brother, I said, look, we can't unify. I was telling these brothers, we can't unify. We have to agree on something. These niggas talking about we don't have to agree in order to unify. We got to agree on something. How can you unify without agreeing on something? The reason you haven't unified is because you have differences. So there had to be some type of compromise or alteration of the things that you disagree on, or some of them, so that you can come together. If you just sit there together and ain't agreed on nothing, ain't nothing gonna get done. You got to start to see, that's what you talk about. Motherfuckers don't think, man. Y'all stupid as hell. Now, for example, a black nationalist, an Afrocentric black nationalist, cannot unify with a Moor or Hebrew Israelite. Why? Because me being a Moor who recognizes my Israelite heritage, that's the same lineage, recognizing that what we teach, we understand that the fact that people are not divided based on no color. That's what the devil gave you. You got black nationalists talking about they black. What the fuck is black, nigga? That's not a nation. That's a description, a tag given to you by your oppressor. Just like Ty Tariq Bey said, you can't go nowhere in so-called Africa and find black land. Negro-donia. You see what I'm saying? You can't find that shit. What's your language? What is the black nation? What's their language? What's their land? What's their culture? What's their God? You see what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. The problem is, if I'm a Moor, I understand that there are different nations, different lineages. It ain't no all people of a particular color like the German Johann Blumenbach said, it's the same people. That's bullshit. That's what the European did. Go to tribal regions of Africa, tribal regions of Asia, tribal regions all over this world outside of the Europeans' domain. The so-called European, the Caucasian. Go outside of his influence and you're not going to find that shit. You're not going to find motherfuckers unifying themselves based on a physical appearance. That's a European's creation. People divide themselves since ancient time based on lineages. You are Israelite because you descend from Jacob. You are Ishmaelite because you descend from Ishmael. Don't matter what the fuck you look like. If I'll say this later. I'll say that for later. If you Pan-African, this is what I'm saying. You say that we went into slavery because the white man did this, and he came into Africa and divided and conquered and made other Africans sell. Look, what we say is, them motherfuckers sold us because they ain't our people. They are other nations. May look the same, but they are other nations. Because that's how we deal with things. Not the European. That's how we deal with things. So what we saying is they are different nations. They are the heathen. They are the Gentiles. The Europeans, the Arabs, the so-called Africans, we saying they are descendants of Ham. The Africans, the so-called Africans that is, are descendants of Ham that sold our motherfucking ass over here. That's what we saying. They are different nations. We ain't saying they are same people and the European deceived them and divided. We ain't saying that. We saying they are different nations. They are just as much our enemy as the Arab, as the Asian, as the so-called white man. That's what the hell we saying. So if you Pan-African, so what we talking about is the redemption of the Israelite nation. So if you Pan-African, you talking about unifying with everybody that's even on the African, so-called African continent. Like that's all the same people and they all our people. To us, what we teach, that's just like unifying. That ain't no different than unifying with the so-called white man, saying he your brother. That's the reason why motherfucker can't unify. You got to understand that. That's just how it is. We are of a different nation. Now, you wouldn't want a motherfucker. What type of nigga would you want to unify with that's going to compromise his shit? Especially that particular principle. Who the fuck he is. That's when you got a real big ass problem. I wouldn't want to fuck with nobody like that that's willing to do something like that. Nigga got, like I said about them brothers that was sucking up the queen tea. Nigga, you got the fucking hold true to what it is that you claim. So that's what I'm saying. See, we go to Psalm number 83. How the nations, this ain't just a so-called European. We talking about how the nations got together and decided that they was going to cut us off and make the name of Israel no more in remembrance.